How often do you think of the Roman Empire? Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this TikTok trend where women are asking their boyfriends, husbands, male significant others how often they think of the Roman Empire. Now, this trend has gone viral. It's all over the place. There's a lot of good videos that have come from this. I'm not really sure how it started, but I tell you what, I am not mad at it, because on TikTok, there are a bunch of ridiculous, brainless, and quite frankly, dangerous challenges out there that should not be done. So this one that's more educational, that inspires you to learn if you don't know about the Roman Empire, this one I can most certainly get behind. Now, we're going to review 3 videos. The first one is going to be a very good take from a man about the Roman Empire and why he thinks of it often. Then we're going to get into kind of a compilation of others talking about it. Then we're going to get into a video of a young lady. I don't know if it's a parody or what, but she was kind of a hater in it, and we're going to get into what she said. But first things first, let's watch this very good clip from my man right here on X, formerly known as Twitter. Shout out to the Hodge twins for reposting this. If you want to see this clip and also everything else that'll be in this video, link will be available in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
All the time.
Why? What are you thinking about it?
Well, because we're in those times right now. Everybody's preoccupied with sports, movies, work, you know.
What was it you said about bread?
Well, all right, the common people, Roman Empire said that everybody was equal. Everybody had a chance. But it wasn't. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And they worried constantly about people rioting. Because they knew that the common man, the common people, could take over at any time. So they would bring them into the Colosseums, and they would give them free grain, they would give them bread, they would give them wine, whatever they needed to fill their bellies and block their minds from what they were angry about. They would watch plays, they would watch fights with the gladiators, sometimes for months on end. And that's where we're at right now, and I think about it all the time. Because so many people are preoccupied with their favorite football team, their favorite actor, actress, singer, and they just don't even think about what's being taken away from them. As long as their bellies are full and they're happy with what's going on, they just let it continue.
Wow.
Very, very good. Now, shout out to her.
Right.
See, you see the caption right here? The caption says, I asked my husband if he ever thinks about the Roman Empire. I was not prepared for his response, with a few emojis laughing and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's a general sentiment about what's going on. Women are not really prepared for the responses they get from their significant others. But this is a good one. This was very good. What he said, Panamint circuses, bread and circuses. That's what's going on, where you're just giving all these things to fill your belly up, to distract you, so you don't focus on what's really happening. I said it a long time ago. People say, hey, ABL, will there be a civil war in this country? Will the people rise up? I'm like, I doubt it, because as long as you got your Sunday night football, your Netflix, and now we got all the drugs being legalized. People say, oh, we should legalize drugs. So you don't understand what's happening. It's an extension of bread and circuses. They'll give you entertainment. They'll give you all this stuff. And then, hey, you know what? You want to numb yourself? Well, we got Big Pharma. Fentanyl is a Big Pharma creation. All right. So you can get high on drugs, drink yourself to death. You can do whatever you want. They're legalizing weed. Then it's going to be shrooms. Then it's going to be whatever. So you're going to see a bunch of drug addicts laying in the street. You think that they need medical help and they should, get an ambulance called on them. But the reality is they want to be in that state. Bread and circuses. They may have their own favorite football team as well. They'll get high and watch the game. Meanwhile, we got rampant inflation. We got the strikes happening. We have southern border being inundated with illegal aliens. I don't care about that. I got my Netflix. I got my weed. I got my crack, heroin. I'm straight. That's what's going on right now. So what he said right here was right on point. All right. And again, that term, what he was referring to, bread and circuses, that comes from the Roman Empire. And we're speaking about the Western Roman Empire that fell like 476. We ain't talking about the Byzantine Empire. That was much later and a different story. So I digress. Now, here is another video, kind of a compilation of people talking about the Roman Empire. Again, women are asking their boyfriends or whatever about the Roman Empire. How often do they think of it? And you're going to see their responses.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Annually, maybe?
I don't know, at least twice a day.
Sometimes I think about it every day.
Every time I fight people,
crazy.
I think about like walking into the Colosseum.
Are you not entertained?
Either about their armor, their swords, their roads, their armies.
We have to be ready for battle at all times, and the Roman Empire is all about battle.
Senegal being conquered by France, then I just went, oh, they weren't as good as the Romans, though.
So the concept once a year.
Yeah.
And then anything 5 times a year.
Yeah. You remind me of Rome, so Marcus Aurelius.
So the Catholic Church, Vatican City.
And by the way, Marcus Aurelius, probably arguably one of the best Roman emperors. One of the best. Reading comprehension, that's something that he championed, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I have my thoughts on the Roman Empire. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
City Hall that was actually started by Constantine, who was one of the last Roman emperors.
So every day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what's going on. Okay, we can get into a lot of the geography, and that's really a big one too. That the geography of it, when you're talking about the full extent of it, like early in the Roman Empire, like right around 100 AD or so, it went from the Iberian Peninsula, current day Spain, Portugal, all the way over to current day Middle East, over to like up against the Persians and their whole thing. I think about not only the Roman Empire, but the Persian, the later Roman, the Byzantine, the Ottoman Empire, Constantinople, which came about a lot later. But now, here is a video from a young lady, and please do not harass this lady. Any negative comments, just put them right here. But she's on TikTok giving her take on it. Now, I can't tell if this is comedy or what, but a lot of people are agreeing with her. So it doesn't really matter what she says. What matters is what the people think about what she says, right? Let's go ahead and roll this. Then I'm going to give my take on it and talk more about the Roman Empire from my point of view.
Your boyfriend can't stop thinking about the Roman Empire. That's so cute. Ask your boyfriend, during what years approximately did the Roman Empire rise and fall? How long did it last? What are some influences that the Roman Empire had on American government? What did we get from them? Why is it an empire? What makes it so historically significant?
I mean, why you gotta, like, what's the point in trying to challenge somebody like that? You see what I'm saying? Like, just ask a question and then get the response. See, the challenging nature, that's just being confrontational for no reason. You're just being confrontational if you're being serious.
Your boyfriend doesn't know anything about the Roman Empire. Your boyfriend is thinking about the movie Gladiator, and he wishes that he was muscular and covered in oil and wearing armor, and there were girls at his feet who were naked and fanning him with giant leaves. That's what he's thinking about. It's just so funny this shit will make up so that something like dumb and silly that boys do sounds impressive and important and like smart. You're giving them too much credit. They're not thinking about the Roman Empire. They're thinking about like Russell Crowe and sweat and shiny outfits. That's what they're thinking. Your boyfriend can't stop thinking.
Okay, so that's what's going on. That's her particular take on it, which is, a bad take. Again, I can't tell if she's some kind of comedian or that's parody or what, but I was reading the comments and people were agreeing with her, saying, yeah, they don't know anything. They're talking about Russell Crowe, Gladiator. Well, the gladiators were slaves, okay, number one. And number two, that's the whole bread and circus argument. Like, a lot of men, when we're thinking about the Roman Empire, we're thinking about the fall. We're thinking about the bad things, some of the good things as well, and some of the modern day influences like the Senate we get from them, a lot of stuff. But the fall of it, and some of the negative things, bread and circus, that was Gladiator 100% of the time. That's what that was. You go to the Coliseum and you watch your sports. That's just what that was. But yeah, now as far as me, do I think about the Roman Empire? I think about it quite a bit. I think about the fall. I think one thing is the LGBT. That's really big, and also the aristocracy, the emperors, the ruling class in the Roman Empire back before the fall. I think about that all the time. I think about some of the emperors, Julius Caesar, what they say, a man for every woman and a woman for every man. Okay, they said he was a switch hitter. Elagabalus, another one, same thing, said he was a prostitute, prostituted themselves to men and women. And then who else? Marcus Aurelius was a good one. And then you had, what was it? Oh, Nero. Nero was terrible. Had a husband and a wife, allegedly beat his wife to death, and then he had his husband castrated and paraded him around in women's clothing. That's like a post-op transgender. So a lot of the things we're dealing with right now in society have already happened before in the Roman Empire. And a lot of those things led up to the Western Roman Empire, which we know of as, the fall of Rome. That's what led to their collapse. Or I don't want to say the open homosexuality among the aristocracy. I don't want to say that was necessarily the cause, but maybe it was like an effect of a society that had become degenerate. You see all these things start to happen, and then you see the society fall. And it's always like that. Go back to the Bible. You could say that the Bible is fiction or whatever, but it doesn't really matter because a lot of the things in there happened. A lot of the things in there continue to happen. When you have a society where you embrace the LGBT, when that becomes part of the ruling classes dogma, that affects society and eventually is going to collapse. But as I close, I want to say this. The Roman Empire is very important to understand, to study, to glean knowledge from, and to hopefully look at as an example of what to do and what not to do. But unfortunately, it's like we take the good and the bad from the Roman Empire and just do it anyway. Or maybe it's just it's an effect of society doing very well, the elites doing very well, and there being kind of a battle in between the haves and the have-nots. I can't really tell, but I think there's a lot of parallels between what's happening right now in society in the West, not just USA, but the West, Europe as well. It's a lot of parallels between what's happening right now in the West and the fall of Rome. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this, on the fall of Rome or the Roman Empire in general? Not just the fall, but all of what the Roman Empire gave to the world, what it did in society that worked, things that didn't work, Byzantine Empire, and then after that, the Ottoman Empire. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think about this quite a bit. Quite often, not every day, but quite often. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a history buff about the Roman Empire, but I know a few things. And I think that it's important to understand. And I think a lot of men, and a lot of people, women too, when you ask them certain questions, you may get a surprising response. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.